Helmut Marko can't stop talking about putting Sergio Perez on the line. He fired shots at his least favourite driver once again, showing that he hasn't changed his mind about the situation. But he should be careful what he wishes for, because it appears now that Checo himself is holding his own jerrycan, helping the Red Bull advisor add fuel to the fire. The Mexican is sounding less than sure about continuing his racing career with his current team. Is Max Verstappen on the verge of losing his teammate? Find out in today's video. In a recent press statement, Helmut Marko threw another insult at his driver Sergio Perez, labelling him as inconsistent. This came while Marko openly expressed his regret over the fact that Lando Norris's McLaren contract is set to expire in 2025, seeing Norris as an ideal candidate to partner with Max Verstappen at Red Bull. Regrettably, doubts about Perez's future with Red Bull have resurfaced, with team advisor Marko hinting at some level of dissatisfaction regarding his focus. Although the Mexican driver still has another year left with the Milton Keynes outfit, the way things are evolving leaves room for speculation about the possibility of Perez moving to AlphaTauri next year. This scenario holds a significant likelihood, especially considering that Yuki Tsunoda's contract is set to expire towards the end of 2023. The widespread speculation surrounding Perez's immediate future at Red Bull stems from a clear difference of opinion within the team. Marko believes that Red Bull can explore other driver options before the upcoming season, while team principal Christian Horner is committed to sticking with Perez in accordance with their existing contract until the end of the following year. Marko's disappointment with Perez's perceived inconsistency appears to have driven him to air his concerns publicly. He made the following statement during a program on Service TV. Perez is not consistent. He is not always focused. Furthermore, it seems that the senior Red Bull figure is strongly leaning towards having Norris step into Perez's seat. What adds to the appeal is that neither Verstappen nor the McLaren driver have any objections to racing alongside each other within the same team. Marko emphasized this point by saying, Perez has a contract until 2024 and Norris has a contract until 2025, unfortunately. It's that long. He, Lando Norris, is definitely a candidate for us. At Toro Rosso, we had already reached an agreement with him at the time, until his manager realized there was an option for a McLaren contract. In terms of youth and speed, he would suit us very well. Sergio, on the other hand, is already over 30 and is expecting his fourth child, so he also has other interests, so you have to see what happens next. And, to everyone's surprise, for the first time in a while, Marko offered praise to Perez for holding his own alongside a formidable opponent like Verstappen. He ended the interview by saying, on the one hand, the seat in Red Bull is one of the most wanted, but on the other hand, you also have Max Verstappen as an opponent. You then need a very strong personality and also mentality. Perez is the one who has done the best of all drivers in recent years and also won races. But the praise may have come too little too late. Sergio Perez has opened up about the possibility of departing from Red Bull in 2024, should he not believe he can make a more significant impact on the team's performance. This season, the Mexican driver has struggled to keep up with Max Verstappen's pace. The Italian Grand Prix marked a promising resurgence for Checo as he skillfully manoeuvred from the 5th position on the starting grid to successfully pass George Russell, as well as the Ferrari pair of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. This impressive performance earned him a second-place finish, narrowly trailing his teammate. Regrettably, noteworthy moments have been few and far between for Perez following his last victory at the 4th round of the season in Azerbaijan. At that point, the 33-year-old was trailing Verstappen by a mere point, but after 14 races, that deficit has ballooned to an unassailable 145 points. In a conversation with DAZN S, Perez provided insight into his situation, revealing that every year you learn new things, and that's why I like this sport so much. You are learning things all the time. I think the most important thing, learn from your mistakes. No, with the season we've had, it's important to have the next races in an environment where I feel I can contribute. And if that place for 2024 is not here, and we will have to look for other alternatives. But right now, my main focus is to be here, to win more races, to keep winning championships with Red Bull. I'm under contract until next year, and at some point next year we'll sit down and talk. Perez's existing contract with Red Bull is scheduled to conclude at the conclusion of the 2024 season. Considering the interest from drivers like Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo, who are all eyeing a potential move to the Milton Keynes-based team, it appears improbable that the Guadalajara-born driver will secure a contract extension. Nevertheless, Checo remains eager to make a strong impression in the latter part of the season, aiming to showcase his capabilities to potential midfield teams and demonstrate that he belongs on the grid well beyond 2024. He's been a consistent overachiever in midfield cars for nearly a decade, but his time at Red Bull has somewhat tarnished his reputation. Speaking about the rest of his season, he commented, "Well, I'm looking forward to this second part of the season. Now the goal is to get back on the podium. I think the bad times are behind me, and now I feel much more comfortable with the car, and I think we're going to have a good end to the year." In a surprise twist, Christian Horner chose not to seize the opportunity to taunt Toto Wolff for downplaying Max Verstappen's record-breaking achievement of 10 wins. Horner stated that he wouldn't be drawn into commenting on that. Max Verstappen etched his name into Formula One history during the Italian Grand Prix, securing his 10th consecutive victory as the Red Bull driver crossed the finish line with a 6-second lead over his teammate Sergio Perez. This remarkable achievement set a new record for the most consecutive wins in Formula One, with the 25-year-old surpassing Sebastian Vettel's previous record of 9 wins in 2013. Moreover, it brings Max Verstappen another stride closer to breaking his own record for the most wins in a single season, as he now boasts an impressive total of 12 victories. Despite receiving criticism from figures such as Damon Hill and Martin Brundle, Mercedes motorsport boss Wolff stood by his remarks, dismissing Verstappen's achievement as a Wikipedia statistic that nobody reads. He has not backed down from this stance. If you missed it, here's what Toto had to say. "For me, these kinds of records are completely irrelevant. They were irrelevant in our good days in Mercedes. I don't know how many races we've won, or in a row. I didn't even know that there was a count on how many races in a row you win. Therefore, asking me for comment on some achievement is difficult because it never played a role in my own life. But the result itself shows that a great driver in a great car is competing on an extremely high level." Wolff's remarks weren't the first instance in which Verstappen's accomplishments were downplayed by Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton had previously stated that he was no more impressed by Verstappen's success than he was when Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel or Fernando Alonso were dominating the sport. Hamilton went further to express his belief that Verstappen hasn't faced genuinely stiff competition from within Red Bull, and that his teammates have consistently been stronger than Verstappen's own teammates. When asked about the comments emerging from Mercedes and whether this might lead to another exchange of words, Horner responded, "Look, I don't want to get drawn into commenting on that. Max, what he's doing, he's breaking records. He's driving at an unbelievable level. And I don't think there's anybody in the world right now who could beat Max Verstappen in this car, that's for sure." When questioned about whether he believes Mercedes is attempting to diminish Verstappen's accomplishments, the team boss responded, "You have to recognise and applaud what Max is doing at the moment. It's very special to achieve what he's achieved. We shouldn't detract from that in any way. In sport, things like this happen very rarely. It's a golden moment for him and certainly a golden moment for the team." So, with Helmut Marko's array of negative remarks about Sergio Perez, will we witness the Mexican's departure long before his time with Red Bull expires? Tell us what you think in the comments section down below. And, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.